Hi everyone, I've made this video to kick off what I'm hoping will be a long series, basically starting from scratch and going all the way to the point where I've got a complete game ready to go. I'm aiming for folks to enjoy watching my videos, and so that I can use them to look back and see how much progress I've made. The game I want to create will be a futuristic 3D sci-fi game with a roguelike twist. The setting is thousands of years ahead, where humanity is on the brink of extinction floating in space. Players will have to navigate through a series of diverse challenges and encounters as they progress. However, with big releases about to come out such as Starfield, now probably isn't the best time to be thinking about creating a sci-fi game. As for the game itself, I've opted to work with the Unreal Engine. There's this ongoing kind of rivalry within the developer community between Unreal, Unity, and other engines, all vying for the top spot as the ultimate choice for indie game devs. I haven't explored the alternatives yet, so I would never claim that Unreal is superior to any specific option. The reason I went with Unreal is because it is the first one I tried, and I like the blueprint style of coding it has. Blueprints are a user-friendly way to code the game without needing to know the specifics of what to write line by line. You just need to know what is available and how to apply it all together. I intend to also make most, if not all, the game assets myself using Blender. Again, the alternatives to Blender could be 3D Max or Maya, but Blender is free and I have a lot of hours of practice using Blender. I was initially using an out-of-date version, so I've made sure to update it first before I start. Everything I've done has been taught from countless amount of tutorials found on YouTube and lots of trial and errors. I tend to come across a lot of happy accidents in my work. In my previous videos, I took a shot at replicating the gameplay mechanics found in Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter. I tried to recreate them as a way of learning how to use the game engine. I like to believe I managed to pull it off quite well for the most part. As a result, I've even created a Crash Bandicoot demo and put it up on itch.io. This demo features a single level with just the bare bone basics in place. I just feel like I've got to the point where I am ready to give it a go and make my own. I still have a lot of learning to do, but I intend to learn as I go. In the majority of areas of expertise, I'm still new and learning. I know how to use Blender, but I still have to rely on tutorials for the Unreal Engine. My laptop itself is probably not really good enough to use for the Unreal Engine, but I'm hoping because I've got a low poly kind of feel, I'm hoping that would help. Checking out indie devlogs on YouTube for what other people have done, I've noticed that a lot of them already have impressive games to display. I can't deny feeling a bit envious of their progress, however, I've chosen a slightly different route for myself. I'm diving into this adventure from scratch, and my intention is to let people observe the game's creation right from the beginning. Seeing that everyone else already has something to present, I decided to give it a shot and craft a simple character that I could just begin moving around with. It had been some time, but I turned to Blender to shape the character. As is the case with anything related to Blender, the initial step is to delete the default cube and then create a new one. For some reason I got carried away trying to create quite a detailed character to start with, and then I tried to force myself to go low poly, but even my low poly didn't seem low poly enough to me. Finding a distinct style to call my own is on my to-do list, but for now, my primary goal is to simply get this character into the game engine. The high poly character took me about 9 hours to create, but this was the first time I plunged back into Blender again after not being on it for a while. The medium poly took 2.5 hours, but at some point I realised it wasn't low poly enough for what I'd wanted it, so I tried again. The low poly took another 2 hours to finally finish, but it was more towards the kind of style that I'd wanted for now. I then used the male base to reshape into the basic female form. My first attempt took 45 minutes, but it didn't turn out the way I'd hoped. My second attempt, though, took me 21 minutes. Applying the rig to the character took roughly an hour and a half. It ended up taking me a total of 16 hours to create two very basic low poly characters. I must admit, a considerable amount of time was wasted due to a lack of proper planning on my part. Once I've managed to establish a good foundation and have some sort of game created, I was hoping to have voice-acted characters and music. For this, I think Fiverr might be a good choice. I don't know of any other alternative, but then again, I haven't really looked. My ultimate aim is to create a complete game that can be enjoyed by everyone. If things go smoothly, I'd be thrilled to turn this into a full-time endeavour. However, at the moment, I can only work on it during my spare moments due to time constraints. In my mind, I really love the idea of sharing my progress on YouTube, letting everyone in on the process and the time it takes to accomplish various tasks. I'm looking forward to people sharing their thoughts in the comments and maybe even offering suggestions for improvements or additional features. My goal is to create a game that hopefully can be enjoyed by a wide audience. Timescale wise for released videos, it will be a slow burn, but I hope to keep everyone informed as much as possible. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, then thank you for watching. If you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing to stay in the loop with my progress. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.